let's start today's presentation. Thank you very much for being here today. I would like to see first, how many of you are involved in some kind of artificial intelligence business today, whether as just a client or actually involved in the solution development or in any other capacities? I mean, I see, we have a hand-raising capacity, so we might as well use that, right? How many of you might be involved in the business today? Okay, so maybe a couple of you. Great. All right, so let's take it back a little bit before the whole sort of artificial intelligence and then all other modern technologies craze started. So for the Industrial Revolution, we hear this word all the time, especially nowadays, because we are set to be going through the fourth Industrial Revolution today. It's really, I think, critical that we start with this sort of background information, because this one seems very different from others. That others, during other era, when all the revolution came out, each invention that was created was really the solution on its own. Today, it feels like it's really that the solutions are linked to create actual the user interface, other solutions. So it feels really different. So anyway, the first industrial revolution that took place from 1760 to 1840, we saw things like steam energy and fast-paced textile industry. These things evolved during that time, which really pushed the economy forward, of course. And the second industrial revolution, 1870 to 1914, the power of electricity, oil and gas, so it really kind of energized the whole economy and innovation in communications and transport. So it became much easier to go to and communicate with the people, places that were far away from us. The third industrial revolution, which I am sure all of you have at least lived at the tail end of it already, is computing, IT, internet, social media, we have all these social media gears that we all choose to kind of express ourselves or created thanks to during that era, as well as e-commerce, the e-shopping. It made our lives really easy, and we still kind of talk about how the research work really changed before and after the internet era, the emergence of the internet, that we used to go to the library to research things, and now we can pretty much research anything we want just in the comfort of home or just sitting in front of the computer instead of having to check out a number of books. And now the fourth industrial revolution, all things digital is really happening all together. Some a little bit more advanced than some others, and let's take a look at what that means. Didn't go page forward. Let's try again. There you go. Unprecedented innovation progress. So we are entering, as I said, a period of unprecedented innovation, and during this period, a number of new technologies have been developed, including artificial intelligence, today's star technology during this webinar, at least for the next 50 minutes or so. Cybersecurity, of course, the foundation of what allows everything to be a little bit safer as we are moving into the digital economy, the virtual reality and augmented reality. I'm sure a lot of you have at least tried some of these gears when you go to the electronic goods shops and innovation centers, Internet of Things, smart refrigerators, smart keys, smart cars, all these things. New space economy, something that not all of us necessarily get involved, but it's there, and we hear about things like SpaceX and Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic on every other day now, right? And then, of course, blockchain. Some of these technologies have existed longer than some others, although we are kind of, all these things are coming together today. And these new technologies frequently used together to develop solutions to problems. So as Wendy kindly introduced me, I do talk at a lot of different events. Rarely I can just talk about one of these technologies without talking about something else. For example, talking about blockchain without cybersecurity, it almost never happens. And artificial intelligence and blockchain very often presented sort of back-to-back side by side together because they utilize it. And what is the Internet of Things without really having the artificial intelligence technology of some kind in the background, right? So all these things are really kind of in combo utilized. And the new uses for technologies are found every day. What should we expect for AI? I actually stole this from a friend company of mine who put a great sort of a presentation on the history of artificial intelligence called Fuse Machines. Artificial intelligence has been around since the 1950s, believe it or not. So there was, of course, not just like anything else, it was a boom and bust until we got here. But really, I mean, 1950s, isn't it amazing to think that it's only maybe last 10, 15 years that we have begun to really hear something about artificial intelligence under the name or the brand of things like Watson, right? And we began to really hear about deep learning or machine learning or really using the natural speech recognition, using the sort of automated scheduling, things like that. But it really kind of existed from 1950s. If you just talk about the regular computing, it existed even before then. What really made a difference to really kind of this, bring us to this explosive growth is the supercomputing power. That really allowed this technology to be a part of our day-to-day lives activities. Because until then, think about how you're having to use a very slow computer to analyze certain things, or maybe even worse, trying to analyze everything off of the spreadsheet. It's a very different world we're living in, right? So let's look at the economy side of AI. It's really increasing. Just to kind of confirm or share the magnitude of how much money is going in and coming out of this technology, I'll just kind of go through all these findings and research. Robust spending forecast. IDC forecasts that spending on AI across retail, banking, manufacturing, and in healthcare will increase from 38 billion in 2019 to almost 80 billion in 2022, a CAGR of 38%. Now, a lot of things do grow very fast, but this is definitely a very high growth that we are seeing just from one technology. CAGR of 38%. Don't we wish that our salary increases even like 1/4 of that pace, right? Biggest spend is in software. Software is expected to account for about 40% of spending of all this 36 billion to $80 billion spending. Two particular areas of expected focus for 2019 are conversational. So if you call, let's say, your bank or some place and it starts with automated conversation, things like that are being adopted everywhere. So that's definitely one of the focus areas today. And banking solutions. There are a lot of different sort of in the background type of solutions that the financial institutions are adopting today in order to serve a large number of people better. Retail, next to sort of people going shopping one way or another, I mean, the bank, money, it's something that nobody can live without. So there are a lot of places where a technology like artificial intelligence can make the operations a lot more efficient. Industries with fastest growth within the artificial intelligence arena, the government is seeing a 44% CAGR. Personal and consumer, so retail field, seeing 43%, and education, 43%. That's a really, really large growth that we are seeing in these industries. But at the end of the day, if the whole industry is growing at 38% CAGR, I guess these numbers are not that surprising, right? AI uses that will see the most investment in 2019, expected to be seen in 2019, are customer service agents. So the conversational, for example, that I was mentioning, that might see a $4.5 billion